Hello, and thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I'm your host, Mr. Julian. And it's been too long, I know, and I went through some tough stuff. Sorry about that. One of the things that happened is Tipsy ran away, so I really didn't feel the spirit with me for a while. But I think Tipsy's probably found a new home, and we'll be happy about that. And I don't despair that I'll never see Tipsy again. Something tells me perhaps I will. It's like that with cats sometimes. I have got a long list of things I haven't reviewed. So many, it's kind of crazy and kind of ridiculous to think of where I could possibly begin. But the thing is, I'm doing another web series now. It's called A Newer World, and sure, I'll plug it. It's about cryptocurrency. Specifically, it's about investing in cryptocurrency, not the technology of cryptocurrency. I've been doing a lot of that myself, and it has been going very, very well for me. So let's look at some of my whiskeys that I've got here. This is like a list of things I might be reviewing over the next few weeks and months. Ardbeg, Anoa, Redbreast 15, Glenkinchie 20. Why don't I do that tonight? Macallan Rare Cask, Glengoyne 21-year-old, Dalmore 12. This is one of the major names. I don't know why it gets. I turn on those freaking lights. I start to sweat. Dalmore, I never did the basic 12. I also got the 15 now, and some of the King Alexander III. This is Jura 20-year-old. This is called Jura 1 and All. And Live It Nadura, I did this one. I think I did all three of them. Auchriosk. No idea how to pronounce that. This from Copper Fox is, I've talked about Wasman's. This is Wasman's Rye, which is 2/3 rye, 1/3 hand malted barley, and finished in a barrel that once held a port-style Virginia wine. And this is a Glenlivet Founders Reserve. It's not too expensive, but it's something new to this vlog. I'm going to go ahead and review this one. The Natural Cask Strength, Auchriosk. And I'm going to tell you something about it before I do, and I don't know anything about it, so let me go find that out. Okay, it's called Auchriosk, and it's a Speyside whiskey. It is the whiskey that forms the heart of a lot of J&B blends. So, with that, let's see what's going on here. This is the 20-year version. It's a limited edition. I think almost all, perhaps all of one of only 5,856 bottled in 2010, matured in American and European oak casks. And the Speyside, so you're thinking rich with bold red fruits. Caramel and date up top. And I'm putting very little into this glass because I was drinking too much alcohol before, and I'm not anymore. And also, I've already learned my lesson with this scotch. Now you can feel up close fire. As if the distillery were on fire, and there's a roaring power in here. It's a spicy, charry note that really overwhelms everything else, but that's not the only thing you can get on the nose. Way in the back, you feel these little honeysuckle and tangerine and marzipan fighting their way across this. Sorry, fighting with this burning grain, and I'm going to taste it straight. It's a 58%er. Wow. Now I can just say, if you just want the biggest event for your buck you can get for a whiskey, I don't know that you could do better than this. But the flavor is so rough. It's so brash. I've been tasting a lot of whiskeys, and I don't shy away necessarily from powerful ones. But this is really beyond that. This is like almost got an element of, I think, masochism in those who would desire to taste this. Now, the event is first just like being kicked by a flaming mule in the tonsils, and then you can pick up some of the notes that were on the nose. A little caramel hangs around, and a little orange juice. That's about it. But you're really getting that wham. There's a little pain involved. I'm gonna put some water in this, and we're just gonna see if that tames it down a little bit. By the way, I don't really know, distilled water or spring water better for this. I'm assuming spring water is better for this because it's got the same balance as the water that the whiskey was made with. I think distilled water might screw it up. And that was a healthy dollop of water, and it needed one. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Oh, while I've got you here, I might point out some things. I've got Cuban cigars now. I've got some Octomore. Got a couple bottles of that actually. I've got this 25-year-old Macallan. Got this Chieftain's 26-year-old Brora. But of course, the crown jewel of my collection is this, my 1972 Brora. Let's see. As I was killing time, I found a couple of my around the house whiskeys. This is a Kalila 25. I'll get to review that. An old Pulteney 17. Spoiler alert, it's really good. And I'll just say, if the idea of getting rich appeals to you, then go over and check out my other web series at A Newer World. And that A Newer World is the name of my YouTube channel, and it is taken from Tennyson, the first lines of the poem Ulysses. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. And that is essentially a message to stock investors that there's a new game in town. And unless you want to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs while the other guys get rich, it's time to come on over and give cryptos a chance. All right, so plug over. I don't feel bad about it because, you know, I've never put up advertisements on any of my videos to try to waste your time for an extra penny here and there. Okay, that orange note I was talking about is I guess now that it's spun out a bit more, it seems less ferocious. It actually seems like it might be she smells quite appealing. Orange and tangerine. Let's see, I'm not getting anything else yet. Well, stick with that. Now let's give it the final test. It's both too watery now and still too ferocious. I don't know where the whiskey was supposed to hit its sweet spot, but I missed it. I'm going to give Auchriosk 20-year-old a 5. That's a gift, and I'll see you next time or at my new website.